I asked a bunch of free-to-play players to see if Zenless Zone Zero is still a free-to-play friendly game, and the result may shock you. Yes, the answer is yes. I just saved you 10 minutes of runtime. Like, that has to deserve a subscribe from you. If it's not, I don't know what will. Zenless Zone Zero has been around for over a year now, and it started off as a very free-to-play friendly game. But over a year has gone by with countless updates, patches, and tweaks to the game that till this day feels almost too difficult to compete. I am strictly talking about the endgame mode of RheZZzy, which the likes of Shield Defense and of course Deadly Assault. A mode that requires you to have 3 teams all set up in order to get the full prize. But is it really that challenging for people to go online, complain about how difficult the endgame mode has become? With the debate of HP inflation and the on-banner agent buff that's solely locked to a single agent, I am talking about none other than our current version, patch 2.2, with none other than these 2 buffs. In retrospective, are extremely agent locked that I just feel disgusted. Those 2 buffs are Fiery Assault, which requires you to have 2 attacker agents on a single team, and Clarity, which only buffs Rupture agents, which we only have 1 at the moment. These 2 buffs are so reliant on you pulling for either Orpheus or Seed, as well as the Rupture agent from 2 patches ago. That just makes me feel like they're forcing you to pull for them. So that got me thinking, with the HP inflation going up, along with the agent buffs that are so strict to a certain character, that I just feel like the newest, shiniest, and most meta characters are the only way forward in progressing the endgame. Obviously, for an avid grinder or a low spender, this might not be an issue, since they can pull for either the character or a Wenjin that is strong enough to support their agents. However, what about the free-to-play? Circling back to the yes statement I said earlier, and you might have noticed the asterisk I put beside it. And this is where my glorious poll comes in. I've asked my free-to-play subscribers if they're struggling with endgame content, remaining as a free-to-play player. To my surprise, over 2,000 people cast out their votes, and the result was honestly not what I expected. 58% of people voted as no, while 23% stating that they are finding the endgame content to be very challenging. And close to 20% of people don't even compete in endgame at all. So that's it, right? Question solved? It's still free-to-play friendly since more than half of the population still rely on the fact that endgame content is still not an issue for them. While yes, this poll may be polluted with different opinions and stuff, like people trolling or just casting out random votes. But then I look at the comments and yes, I've read all of them, by the way. Now obviously I'm not gonna go and force you to read all 60-ish comments on the post, so I'll just recap everything that I've read so far. Most of them consist of asking the polls about the paid options. Okay? Well, some can't clear because of skill issues, some are very new and can't, which is fair. Some of you are expected are doing just fine, a little bit of struggling but still passes, and people that can only get 6-star or below, or at least the bare minimum. Now this has painted an even better picture for me to look at, because while yes, half of you are indeed suffering while passing by, and half of you just want to ruin the poll. Okay, I'll be real, RheZZzy isn't really punishing free-to-play players. Wow, yes, the bar slowly rises, making people struggle a lot more than usual, but isn't that the whole point of endgame mode? That's a video for another day though. I'll get back to what's at hand. Not satisfied with my finding, I took it upon myself and interviewed some of you within the Church of BANGBOO Discord server and asked if they're free to play or pay to win, if they're struggling with endgame, their take on it, and their opinions if it's still free to play friendly. And it kinda shocked me. The results were almost the same as the YouTube comments. All the people I interviewed, except for one which we'll get into, has stated that yes, RheZZzy is still free to play friendly. Albeit it is getting more and more difficult to compete in the endgame mode. So before I get through with the interviewee, my assessment is as follows. Zenless Zone Zero is still free to play friendly, but it is getting very difficult to do so. You either have to be a day 1 player with an insane dedication to the game, or an actual nerd that keeps everything within a spreadsheet. But it is still very doable. But for most people that's trying to clear with a level 30 Anton with the wrong disk drive, yeah, good luck with that. It is called an endgame after all.
I used to be a free-to-play player, and then I did end up swiping, but that was only to get the Shuan skin.
I'm a free-to-play player. I've been in it the whole time. I've not spent a dime.
I am a mobile player, so I don't have that PC experience like most people do. And I think that may be the one thing that I struggle with the most when playing, especially endgame. I think it's fine personally. Tower can stay as it is. For DA and Shiyu, I'll start with Shiyu first. I think Shiyu is fine as is. I haven't had any issues with it, but I will admit that it is tailored more towards the newer agents, like the more recent Shiyu we've had, where I believe if it's the attackers, they ignore like 20% resistance from the enemy or boss. But then when it comes to DA, I think HP inflation is probably the biggest thing that I've seen many people talk about. I personally don't mind it because I'm not a sweaty try hard at this game, but for those who do play it, I am sincerely sorry for those who try to get the max score or kill the boss. But as the HP goes higher and higher, you can't really do that anymore. I personally just stick to getting the 20k, and that's that. I don't try to go overboard.
Well, not day one. I've been around since the Caesar, like when Caesar was new. It mostly just comes down to me not really wanting to like spend money on something that I don't really like have physically. I tend to usually spend my money on things like that I can like hold in my hand, you know? I've been okay with the content so far. I've been mostly enjoying it here and there. My main struggle is just mainly comes down to not really like hitting many benchmarks in terms of like endgame content. Despite like how hard I tried to build my characters, I didn't really.
I'm personally gonna say no. If we look at the very first DA we had at the beginning of this patch 2.2, it was heavily tailored towards double attackers. For me, I'm just not used to running attack agents. My account is mainly focused on Anomaly. I don't think it's F2P friendly because with new units, let's look at Seed and Orphe for example. These two are tailored with the double attack agent meta that we're currently in. And the Defiler really wants you to run those dual DPS comps. I didn't pull Seed, and I don't plan on pulling Orphe, so I just try to clear with what I got. So overall, I don't think it's that free-to-play friendly anymore. And granted, you can still do it with like A-rank agents and things like that, but nobody's gonna build A-rank agents, let's be honest, unless you like really need to.
As for if it's still like free-to-play friendly, I guess I'd say so. At least that's my opinion anyway.
Okay, last question. Please introduce yourself. Who are you and which region you're in?
My name's Champion90X, but you can call me Champion or Champ, either one is fine.
My name is Mr. Skull. I'm just a silly little skeleton, biggest Ben Bigger fan. I'm in the EU region, like I play like European.
I play on North America servers.
Hey, Editing ZD here. I just want to thank Fantastic Mr Skullz and Champion9X for having this interview. Also subscribe and join the Church of BANGBOO. Who knows, you might appear in one of these videos. But anyway, let me know what you think about the free-to-play situation. Leave your thoughts in the comments. And a huge shout out to all of my channel members, especially RheZZZy for donating half of these membership. And shout out to all the members of the Church of BANGBOO Discord server, especially our server booster. I greatly appreciate all of you by the way, and please have a great weekend everyone.